On November 19th, my next guest faces David Evans when APFC makes a return in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's no other than the one-eyed dragon, Dre Miley. How's it going today, Dre?
It's going pretty good, man. Just finished open mat and got stretched out, and here we are.
Awesome. So we're about 2 weeks away. A little, I guess, 16 days out, so about 2 weeks away. Um, how's like the camp going? How's preparations for the fight?
Camp is going really well. I've known about this fight for a while. I know that I was going to fight November 19th, so I've been not necessarily ramping it up, but iron out the wrinkles, so to speak, and then, you know, being myself more. And so I would say camp is pretty good. It's been pretty good. I'm excited to go out here and play spoiler to this kid.
That was gonna be my next question too. When did you find out this fight? I know you kind of were playing coy on Twitter and everything about it when people were kind of mentioning it. Obviously, trying to not beat the promotion to the announcement. So, when did you find out about the fight itself?
I knew about it probably about 2 3 months out. I knew about it probably around like August, September. So, because my management talks to me and my coaches, we all talk. So, they was like, hey, November 19th, you have fight, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. All right, well, let's get ready. I'm gonna go ahead and start, just working and fine tuning everything and getting my hours in, stuff like that. So. Yeah, I knew about it a good amount of time. I just didn't know who yet, or what. I didn't put a face. I couldn't put a face with the name.
I'd be a little amiss if I don't touch on the topic that everyone asks you about. Just knock it out of the way. The one-eyed dragon. What caused the situation? Just so anyone who hasn't heard an interview from you understands what happened.
Well, basically, like I was 17 when it happened, and my buddy at the time was a friend of mine at the time. Me and him was driving to coach at a basketball game, and two people were riding in the back seat. And whenever he swerved to hit a tree, because we was riding on a very narrow road back in my hometown, and he misjudged the turn, swerved, hit the tree, and I went to catch the two people that was flying to the windshield. And whenever I caught them and slammed them back, when I turned my face to the left, turned back center, my left side of my face went to the dashboard, and I think they said like the vent or something had cut my eye from back to front, and it was like a millimeter away from touching my brain, which would have killed me. So yeah, it was pretty scary at that time. Pretty scary stuff.
That was how many years ago? I think you're
That's been 15 years ago.
15.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you made your amateur debut in 2014. So, for those who aren't aware, too, you didn't even do MMA until post event.
Hmm.
Football was your thing back then. Then you went into MMA. How has it been training MMA post event?
It took some getting used to for years, and my coach, he helped me with that, learning like how to work around said disability. And so like I don't focus so much on what everybody else does, like their cues and stuff like that. I have to focus on different things. And like I already know people are going to attack my left side, so like that's probably the worst side for everybody to like circle on. So you have to catch it quick. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Depth perception was a hard thing to get used to.
And like I said, you made your amateur debut in 2014, your pro debut in 2016. You've been a pro for 7 years, including 2020 when nothing was going on.
Hmm.
And you're about to hit your 18th pro fight as well. Recently, we have seen Share Bullet debut in the UFC. I know your name started getting passed around because everyone was like, how's he going to fight? How's he going to do this, that, and the other? And you have 18 fights. Like, you proved itself that it can happen. The question that didn't come up though is like, where can you fight? Do you have a list that you can fight at, or is it kind of like trying to fight in a new state, fight in the commission, and then getting approved or denied?
It's kind of a mixture of both. Like I have a list of saying who I can fight for, and then most of the commissions, like some of them are cool, but like sometimes you get some of them that are like very like adamant about stuff, and certain states just like, well, just send me your paperwork, and then they'll look at the record and be like, okay, well, dude, you've done this 1,000 times, so you might as well just we might as well just let you have a license. So it's a mixed bag. Like Wisconsin and Florida are the two recent ones that just allowed me to fight. They were just like, Yeah, man, just let him go. Just let him fight. So stuff like that. It's hard. Certain states play hard. I think California's one of them that'll play hard with me. Probably New Mexico and hot spots where the UFC goes, which is stupid, but it is what it is.
I know of another fighter that has a similar situation as well. His is a glass eye. Is yours a glass eye, or is it still the eye?
Oh no, it's still the eye. I'm not doing that until like I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a video, and I think he fought an opponent that I fought, and he kicked the opponent kicked his glass eye out like it went flying, and
Hmm.
that dude wasn't allowed to fight anymore. And then I was like, well, that settles that debate because everybody was trying to like get me to get a prosthetic eye. I was like, I'm not doing that because what happens if it flies out? And I was like, well, shit. Now I've seen it. I was like, yep, I'm not gonna do it.
There's so many questions, obviously. I'm not trying to got it with pillow hands, but like an eye poke. Do
Hmm.
you still have nerve feelings?
Yeah, I do. If you poke me in it, I mean, it still hurts. It's
Mhm.
alive, but it's like I don't know the best way to explain it. It's like a zombie eye.
Mhm.
Like I have the feeling and I can see lights, shadows, and stuff like that. But yeah, it still hurts. Yeah, if I tell people all the time, I was like, dude, if you're gonna poke me, at least poke me in my bad eye. My good eye is still good. So
Your next opponent, though, is David Evans. He's out of American Top Team Evolution. If it's still accurate, I think he's trained with like Dean Thomas, Tyler Woodley. So obviously a bit of a wrestler with striking. You obviously recently a black belt, just got your promotion relatively recent. How do you see this fight kind of going? Do you have an idea yet of how you envision it going?
no. I mean, out of 18 fights, I've fought some of the like toughest guys. I fought Muay Thai guys. I fought wrestlers. I fought jiu-jitsu and judo guys. I fought them all. So at this point, it's more so of just like, can I do my thing regardless of what he's good at? And just because you train with those guys doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be those guys. You're not. He's not gonna be a Dean Thomas. He's not gonna be a Tyrone Woodley. Shit like that. So it doesn't bother me. So far, I see the fight. There'll be a moment where we'll exchange for the little bit. Someone's gonna crack somebody. Someone's going to shoot for a shot, and it's gonna go to the ground, and that's when the fight will be over.
Again, you're not fighting his coaches, you're fighting him. So that makes
Yeah.
most sense. On his end too, it's one of those like you're playing Party Crasher. He's managed by Showtime Group. He's fighting for Anthony Pettis. He's a commentator for the promotion as well.
Hmm.
Do any of that like impact your feelings coming into the fight? Like you're obviously you're being brought in as the B side. Um, how does that empower you to like shut them up basically?
Oh, I really don't care. It's all pressures on him. Like he has to.
Mm-hmm.
He has to compete. He has to, show why he's so good, and he has to do all these things. And I just got to go in there and just do my thing. So I think for him, I think this is a bad fight for him because it's such a big step in competition that he has to outperform him his last performance, and he also has to beat me, and that's in itself is tough. So I mean, I've got three UFC vets under my belt. I'm not. It's not one of those things where, oh shit, he's gonna show me something different. It's like I've seen it all, and I get UFC style. I mean UFC themed coached. So my coach Eric Turner and Jason King, they go events whenever he fights UFC. So and then they immediately bring stuff back, and we work on the stuff that he does. And it's I have really good coaching. I trust my coaching. I trust myself. So it's one of those it's a fight that he has to win. I don't have to win. I get to win.
Awesome. And then speaking of your coaches and gym, you're out of Knoxville Martial Arts Academy, uh, a gym that may not flow off the tip of the tongue for your casual fan, or even a little more above casual, because you're not it's not a Kill Cliff or a Longo Weidman, but there's some names that have come out of there. OSP has come out of there. Liv Parker has come out of there. Who have you been training with for this fight?
Oh, I train with all of them. Yeah, we all train with each other. So I think not this past Friday, but the Friday before last, I think I got 2 rounds in with Vince, and that was straight kickboxing. and like he was, he's a bigger dude than me, but he was throwing punches and kicks. He wasn't being light. He wasn't being nice either. So he really big brothers me every time I'm doing something. James Adcock, he fought for Bellator. He fought Cody Law. I've sparred with Liv. I've sparred with Jason King. All those guys. So when you see all those guys like compete on the big stage, just know that somebody has something to do with their growth. Like we all train with each other. It's like there's none of that. Like you can't go him because he's a Bellator guy. You can't go him. It's like no, everybody goes with everybody. You get what you get, and you don't pitch fit. So.
November 19th, York based David Evans, APFC. Main card, so it's going to be on Fight Pass. None of that. Like you're not going to be start on YouTube, obviously. I'm going to pass the mic to you. Your any shout outs you want to do, sponsors, etc. Mike's all yours.
Okay, so I guess I give a shout out to everybody at Knoxville Martial Arts Academy. My coaches, Eric Turner, Jason King, my management company, ECB Management, Sports Management. They're the ones who helped, get this fight started. So they pointed this fight. It was like, hey, we have a fight here, and they sent this to my coaches, and my coaches approved, so we're good there. That's Ed Barnett. Thanks to Tennessee Bonding, Money Fight. Let's see, who else am I missing? Yeah, if I miss anybody, I'm sorry. I'm deprived right now of carbs or food right now. That's pretty much it. And anybody that's ever supported me through it, make sure you watch on Fight Pass. And, and if you see me on Twitter talking, man, feel free to talk. Like, I'll talk to anybody, very personable. I don't like, social media is weird where you feel like you can try to connect with people and people are like, I don't know if I should connect with this person. Like, nah, I'm that dude. I'll talk to you. I'll talk MMA. I'll talk anime. I'll talk anything. So that's all it is. Oh yeah, and shout out to Beard and Wrestling. That's where I coach at. This season we just picked up. Our season just started, so we're getting to that gritty of it. We're getting fun. So I'm excited about this year.
David Evans, Dre Miley. It's gonna be a good fight. Best of skill, and we'll loop back again later on. Thanks for your time.
All right, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.